I'm going to tell you guys about how I wholesale this deal to an agent, to a realtor, and makes $10,000 off of it. So I'm going to wait until you guys get on here. I'm just parking at the park right now, waiting for the wife. So I'm going to roll down the window. It's getting a little warm in here. So hopefully you guys will be able to hear me. So anyways, you guys, I'm waiting for you guys to get on. I'm going to share with you guys the story, how I closed this wholesale deal, assigning it to an agent. I have so many of you guys comment, email me saying, hey Khang, can you wholesale to an agent? How does it work? Do you have to pay for the realtor fee? Who paid for the realtor fee, etc.? So I'm gonna get all that answer in this Deal Story Friday. What up? Let's give you guys a couple shout out. Jose, hey man, what up? Tinan, you guys, if I can't pronounce your name, I apologize. Rusty, Jose, Rusty, what up, you guys? As you enter the live stream, please don't be shy. Smash that thumbs up. And if I add any value to you in this video, smash that thumbs up. If you are new to the channel and you're interested in learning how to wholesale and how to do it virtually, that's all I teach in my channel. No flipping, no nothing. All strictly wholesale, and how you guys can make a boatload of money virtually doing it without ever seeing the seller, the buyer, or the property. If you're interested, then come on, you guys. Smash that subscribe button, join the family, join the channel, join the journey. We're in this together. Now, before I get into the story, before I give you guys a couple shout out, I don't know if you guys have seen the commercial where they're pretty much showing a nice car or a supercar or whatever like that. And this is what, and I actually just saw it, and I want to share with you guys, is they said most people buy what they need. Some buy what they want. Only a few buy what they dreams. Who is in it with me? Who is with me that we are going to be the few that's going to be able to buy what we dream of? The lifestyle, the house, the cars, anything of our dreams. Who's in it? Who's on the same boat with me? If you are, hit that, smash that like button, comment below. I want to know. Also love the C63, dude. Man, I've been enjoying. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kyle, dude, this car has been amazing. Love it. I got some really funny reactions when I took some friend and some family for a ride. Yeah, I had a blast, man. Let's give you guys a couple shout out. Kyle, just wanted to say that your video are awesome. Keep it up. You taught me a lot. Oh, Kyle, thank you, man. That means a lot. That means a lot, dude. 5 years ago, I was, 5.5 years ago, this October, it'll be 6 years that we actually, that we actually started in real estate. My wife and I, changed to the E63 next year. Jin, what up, buddy? Dude, like 5.5 years ago, I remember my wife and I first started out, know nothing about real estate. We going to seminars, we going to RIA, we going to meetup, we going to any networking events, traveling an hour and a half, fly to Florida, traveling, just pretty much put in the time to learn this business. And I just can't, if someone 5.5 years told me, hey Khang, one day you're going to start a YouTube channel, you're going to make over $250,000 a month wholesaling houses, I would have been like, dude, get out of here, man. Get out of here. So you guys, what I'm telling you is, when you put in the hard work, when you are determined, you are going to get to where you want. You are going to get to where you want. All right. So just keep pushing, keep going. Come on, you guys. We got 27 on as you enter the live stream. Come on, man. We should get 27 likes. I'm working towards the 2018 E63S AMG. That's my goal. Kyle, you got it, buddy. Put it on your vision board. Not just envision it, but you got to make plan on how to get there. Figure out how much it's going to cost you. I think that car, the base price is roughly about 130 or so. If you really spec it out, you can get to 150,000 on it. So figure out what's the mortgage payment. How do you want to pay it? So start planning it out. So that way, okay? So that way, Joe Johnson, you're an inspiration. Thank you, man. Delano Johnson. Jet is next. The next goal, my wife and I want to be able to accumulate so much money that we want to, that we can go fly private whenever we want, and not have to worry about it. So to make it feel like it's just pocket change. And I think to fly private, it's going to cost about, I think there's a program that you can actually buy. It's 20 or 30 something $1,000 a year or so. And so I don't know how that works out. I mean, we can go ahead and do that, but I think we want to be able just to fly private. Not own I don't think about owning a private jet yet. Delano, Jin, Mike Ying, what up, Khang? What up, you guys? Happy Friday. Let's give you guys a couple shout out here, and then we'll get into the story. Shane Montgomery, hey, what up? Welcome to the channel and the family. If you guys are new to the channel, I want to share with you guys that in my channel, I'm teaching you guys everything that I have learned and everything that I will be learning about wholesaling and how we do it virtually. We don't see the seller. We don't need to see the property. We don't need to see the buyer. We're doing this all virtually. And once you figure out how to do it, you'll be able to do it in any market you desire. And you're going to crush it. With this business, you'll be able to make, you can make as much as you want. There are guys, my wife and I are probably going to go to the Collective Genius, is CG. These guys in there, we're probably going to go next year, and I'll definitely bring you guys along the way. So and these guys are in there, a freaking high power player, making half to $1 million a month. They can be flipper, they can be wholesaler, all kinds of things in there, but it's all real estate related. And I'm gonna go there and to connect, to network. So anyways, do you like Uncle G? Dude, Uncle G, man, absolutely. Who doesn't like Uncle G? Come on now. Yeah, Sean Terry is a member in there. My mentor was actually in there for a couple years, and he are actually really good friend with a lot of them in there. But I don't know if he's in there anymore. Sean Terry right now are more into a selling courses and things like that, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but the guy is definitely a powerhouse, crushing it. I know he's making a ton of money in real estate. Anyways, you guys, let's get into the deal. Ray, what up? You're just right on time. So we got this deal here. This deal here came off of one of our letters. All right, one of our letter, and this is when this deal has got to be a couple years ago. So I might miss out on the number, but I'm just gonna tell you guys what I remember. It's more importantly, it's how I found the deal, how I negotiate, and then how I closed the deal. So we send the seller a letters, and this is coming from not owner occupied, so the owner doesn't live in the property. All right. And we send the guy a letter. So this guy, he lives in California, or I'm sorry, he lives in Canada. So he has a property in the States, and he property in the state. It's currently rented out, and the renter is not paying him rent, and he doesn't know what to do with the renter because the renter hasn't been paying him rent, and the renter doesn't want to move. So he gives the renter a notice. Renter keep on promising him, hey, I'm gonna move, but never move. And he's just, in his late 60s, so he's kind of tired of it. And now he wants to sell his place in Canada and just detach and move to closer to his family member in Florida, and just want to be done with and don't want to be a landlord anymore. And he just doesn't want to mess with it, okay? And when he drove down to go and visit his rental property, the renter doesn't even let him inside. So there's a little conflict between him and the renter already. And so he got one of our letters, and it was white letter. So at this time I was writing, I was handwriting the envelope, right? So I was printing it out on the computer. Hi, my name is Khang. I want to buy your house cash. Pay all closing costs, close quickly, buy as is. Please give me a call. Send them a letter. So he calls back. We went back and forth. We kind of chat on the phone, and he kind of tells me what the situation is, what's going on. Kind of ask him, go ahead, hey, what he thinks the property's worth, what he likes to get for the property. And he gave me a number. The number was very close to where we needed to be. And like I said, I don't remember exactly, but at that time we figured the ARV was going to be around, it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. And we figured the ARV was, I think in the 180 or 190. So 180 or 190, and he's looking to get about 110 or so. Sorry, 110 or so for the property. And I think the property's going to need about, I think at that time we estimated it's going to need roughly about $30,000 to $35,000. So on the first phone call, kind of share with him kind of what we do or what our company is, and we hadn't made him an offer yet. And then on the second phone call, when I call back, schedule an appointment, call him back to make him the offer over the phone. And he was at 110, and we need to get him down to, I think, 85 or 90,000. All right, but we end up meeting at 85 or 90,000, and I think we end up meeting at like 90 or 95,000. I'm not exactly sure. And the closing date on it was, we asked him, obviously how quickly he wants to sell, blah blah blah. He said, hey, I want to sell quick, but I'm willing to work with you guys on the closing date. So we end up trying to ask as many days we can, and I tied up for about 45 days. Tied up for 45 days in the contract, and $500 earnest money. I could have made it. I could have put $10. I could have put $5. The seller did not even ask about earnest money. And you guys, I have so many of you guys commenting or emailing saying, hey Khang, what if the seller asks for earnest money? It's because how you talk to somebody calls in. But anyways, it's oh no, internet. No, actually I got an incoming call, so that's why I don't have my iPad. I'm using my iPhone. So so pretty much what it is that it's how you talk to the seller and how you present yourself. And it's all about, so when they feel something, then that's when they start asking you a question about it. Okay, so like I said, the seller didn't even ask for the earnest money. So we go ahead, we tied up for 45 days. We know the situations of the renter. So you guys got to understand, whatever the situation is, you must pass that along to your buyer. You must pass it along to your buyer so your buyer knows what the situation is, okay? Because your buyer needs to know that, okay? Because if you were the buyer, you need to know what the situation is, right? So you want to make sure, as a wholesaler, we pass along that information. If the seller needs 30 days to vacate after the closing, then we need to relay that to our buyer. If the buyer has to evict the renter, we need to let the buyer know that. We need to let the buyer know exactly what the situation is. And don't worry, you guys, when it comes to the buyer, some will be like, yeah, I don't like to deal with evictions. Some will be like, you know what, I'm gonna deal with that, but I need I need to be at a certain price. But the thing is, if you hide it from your buyer, eventually they're gonna find out, and you don't want a bad name, right? You don't want your buyer to be like, well, I don't know why you hide it from me. I don't want to deal with you anymore. Like I said, reputations is super important. So whatever the situation is, make sure you pass that along to your buyer. So make sure your buyers knows what's going on. And like I said, it's like if that situation doesn't work for that buyer, it's okay. There will be another buyer that will work. It all comes down to is a lot of times it's the price and how much risk if that buyer's willing to take. Okay. So we told the buyer what's going on. I sent it out to my buyer. At this time, I didn't have a huge list of buyers. I was networking with a bunch of Realtor, right? I was networking with a bunch of Realtor. So I had and then I scheduled, at this time, since the property is rented, the seller's away, we set up a showing, and the seller said that, I told the seller, hey, you know what, we can go there and we can deal with the renter. We'll be polite with the renter. We've done this all the time, so don't worry about it. We're not gonna, disturb your renter or upset your renter or anything like that. Because you want to let the seller know that the seller doesn't need to be there, and that's the key. You want to give them the peace of mind, so they don't need to be there, knowing that, hey, we deal with this a lot. Don't worry about it. We'll be polite to your renter. So that way you don't cause a conflict between, you know, being the seller being there and the buyer being there. So a lot of times I try to eliminate, if I can, you know, try to say stuff so the seller doesn't have to show up. Okay. So in this case, the seller already have an issue with the renter. So the seller's like, okay, that's cool. I understand you guys are professional at this, so I'm not going to be there. You know, and so I set it up. At this time, we had about, I think I had about 3 or 4. I think there was 3 realtor that show up. They're all agents. 3 realtor that shows up. 2 of them said, "Hey, Khang, this is too much work." One of them said, "Hey, Khang, hey, Khang, I want to buy it, but I want to make sure the issue with the renter. All right, I want to make sure that I'm not going to go through an eviction and drag it out for like 3 months or so, or 6 months, whatever, to get the renter out. Because you guys got to understand, like, some of these buyers, you know, they have to get hard money. So any times that they get hard money, every month that they don't, you know, that they don't finish, they got to pay a percentage on their hard money. So that when they make an offer or when they buy the property, they do take that into consideration. All right. So that's why a lot of times people that have the cash sitting in their bank and they don't have to go get private or hard money, they are able to pay more at a higher price. So you guys got to understand that. So at this time, I said, okay, you know what? I don't know if that's going to work. So I try to get some, you know, and then I heard from a few more buyers. None of them was really takers. Some of them said, "Hey, Khang, I don't deal with a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. You know, we like 3-2 kind of thing." Some of them didn't like the location. So after about 5 or 7 days gone by, like a week go by, I end up saying, "Hey, you know what? Call back the agents that say, 'Hey, Khang, you know, I want to move forward, but I don't want to have to deal with the renter afterward and being stuck with a 30 days or 60, or I'm sorry, a 3-month or 6-month trying to evict them.'" So I came back and I told the realtor, I said, "Hey, so if we can get the renter commit to moving out in 30 days, you know, after closing, are you ready to go on it?" And the agent said yes. So what we did was I end up having to so we assigned it. Our profit on this one was 10,000. And I called the renter up and I said, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna move forward and buy this property. And I understand that, you know, we're gonna give you the 30 days, and I understand you have to find a new place. We're gonna certainly help you out." And the renter, you guys, when the buyer was there, oh man, it's getting really warm in here. When the buyer, let me turn on the car really quick. But when the buyer, man, it's really warm. I'm sweating. But when the buyer was there, the renter was saying, you know, they naming all the bad things about the house, what could go wrong, all sort of stuff, right? Because they did not want the seller to sell the property. Some renter will do that. Not saying all, but some will do that. So anyways, I called back the renter. I said, "Hey, you know what? You know, we want to help you move to a new place. This place here, you know, it seems like, it's going to need a lot of work. You guys don't want to live in something like this. You know, why don't you go and find a new place where you want to live, you know, a nice and better place. And we would certainly want to help you out with, you know, making your moving easier." And the renter was somewhat corroborated, and I go ahead and I share with the renter. I said, "Hey, you know what? I understand that you have some issue going with the seller, but, you know, as a new buyer, you know, we want to, you know, we don't have any kind of conflict, or we don't have anything with you. Please make this easy for us. You know, we want to help you out, but please, you know, also trying to work with us here." So anyways, end up having to give, like I said, I do not put a price. I always tell I always ask the other person, the other party, what they want. Okay, because I was ready to say, "Hey, I'll give you $2,000 or $3,000. Instead, I asked the renter what they needed. Okay, and the renter said, "Hey, Khang, you know what? I'm gonna need about $250 to help me move. I need to get a trailer to help me to get all this stuff out. I actually have already found a place that I like." Because, you guys, the place was trash. The renter was like, "I already found a place that I like. It's going to be an hour and a half. I need to rent a trailer to get all my stuff, And then she also mentioned, like, you know what, I also need help putting a deposit of $500 on my new place. So I said, well, you know what, I said, so if I can get our team on board to help you out with that, you know, and giving you X amount of, you know, giving you 30 days to move, is that gonna work for you? She said, Khang, if you guys can do that, yeah, I think that's gonna work for me. So what we did was we end up putting a deposit. We call the property management up on the on her new rental, making sure that everything she said is true. At this time, we already locked in the assignment contract with the agents already, contingent on, you know, contingent on us working out a deal with the renter 30 days after vacate and things like that. So now, when we got into contract with the seller, we as a buyer pay for all the closing costs, okay? And the seller does not need to pay any realtor commission. This realtor is coming in to buy this property, all right? She's not representing my end. She's not representing the seller. She's not getting any commissions. She understands that there's no commissions, and that's why seller would sell to us, because she doesn't have to pay any realtor commission. So the agents, it's act on as an investor buying this property as an investment. So so we go ahead and we call up the property manager where the renter was saying that they're gonna move to, and verify all the information. They said, yep, she's you know, she look at this place right now. All we need to do is we need her deposit to go ahead and move forward. So I said, and then I got that done. And then I called back with the renter, drew up an addendum with them. So I drew up a addendum, an agreement with the renter, and have her go get it notarized, saying, hey, you know what, you know, 30 days after vacate, you know, 30 days after vacates, buyer willing to contribute, you know, $750 towards helping renter moving, and things like that. So go get it notarized, so we have a copy. And then at this time here, and you guys got to make sure when you deal with renter, make sure that they put on there anything that's left behind after 30 days, right? Anything that's left behind, the buyer or the new owner has the right. So yeah, sorry, it's not the buyer. The new owner has the right to throw everything away. If you do not put that in, I don't know how it is in your state, but if you do not put that in there, technically the renter has, I don't know how many months to come back, and actually I don't know if it's 30 days, I don't know if it's 60 days, I don't know exactly, but I know it's probably between 30 to 60 days they can come back and take their stuff. So you cannot throw their stuff away. You have to put it in a storage. All right, you have to put it aside. You have to put it in a storage unit. You have to rent someplace to put it in so they can come back and get their belongings. So you want to make sure you put that in your addendum, that renter, anything left behind, new owner, new owner allowed to throw it away. Okay. So so anyways, once we drew up addendum, once the renter signed everything like that, send it over to the agents. The agent was good with that. Call the property management, drop off the deposit, we close on it, and then at this time, you know, at this time we don't let the renter, we don't give the renter the money until they vacate. So because you want to make sure that you give them somewhat so the $250, I said after the $250, whatever your rental is on that not exceeding the $250, we're gonna go ahead and reimburse you. Because you want to make sure that you give them something on something that they need to, you know, so basically, what's the word? But you need to give them something so that way they execute and move forward with what they say they're going to do, right? So you don't want to give them everything up front. But we have to make a deposit, because without that deposit, they're going to lose that spot, and they don't have the money for that. So anyways, and that's how we're able to close this deal, was we work out a deal with the renter, make sure that it works for our buyer, which in this case, the realtor. And then the closing date was, I think since the time that we tied up, we found the buyer within like a week or so. And then it was set forward to a 10 days closing, to total roughly about 15 to 17 days. So close on it, and then, yeah, and that's pretty much it. We close on it. We close on it. And then I think the renter was even able to move out even sooner. So it ended up to work out for the agents, work out for the sellers, work out for the renter as well. So it was all around. The seller was super happy. He said that he was going to go through the eviction process. Now he has to hire an attorney. Typically, it's going to cost him about $3,000 to $5,000 to evict somebody. I don't know about your state, but in our state, it's typically $3,000 to $5,000 to evict somebody, to evict a renter, and so typically what it is they like to, buyer like to go and take the route where they do cash for keys. So you go up to your renter, hey, you know what, how much it's gonna cost you to move? I'm gonna help you out with some money, and that's what they do. Because if you go through the evictions, it's a long process. It can take up to like 6 months. But anyways, you guys, any question about this deal, drop it in the comment. Let me know. Did I left anything out? At this time, I told the agents, the buyer, they got to put $5,000 non-refundable. So once they said that they are committed, they're ready to go, I told the buyers that they need to put $5,000 non-refundable into the title company. I have so many of you guys also too is comment and email saying, hey Khang, once I have a purchase contract between me and the seller, what do I do with it? Do I wait until I get a buyer? And then I send the assignment agreement and the purchase and sale contract into my title company or my attorney, or how does it work? So what you want to do is that when you get a signed purchase and sale contract between you and the seller, you want to go ahead and send that into your title company or your attorney to get escrow open. And now at that time in the contract that we use, it allows us to hold on to our earnest money until a couple days before closing. That's where we can send in our earnest money. So I don't know how your contract set up, but a lot of times what it is once you send that in, then you got to send your earnest money in to the title company along with the purchase and sale contract between you and the seller. Now once you found your buyer, then you drop an assignment agreement between you and your buyer, then you send that in, and then between the purchase and sale and the assignment agreement, the title company or the attorney, because some state doesn't have title company, they have an attorney. It's an attorney state, and they will review and know exactly what needed to be done. So the biggest thing is, also too, is when you first start out, find a title company or an attorney that know how to execute and do these kind of transactions. If they don't, you're gonna have some issue. You're gonna have some issue at the last minute trying to find a title company that know how to do it. Okay. But that's pretty much it. We made less than $10,000 on this deal because we have to pay something for the renter. So drop me a comment. Let me know, you guys. What up? So I got a lot of you here. I want to give a shout out. Our lives united. Happy Friday. Welcome to the channel. Donald Eager. What up? One quick question on deposit coming from the buyer. Once the deal goes through, is the deposit from the buyer deduct from the total price? Yes. Yes, that is correct. One is that once the buyer have made a deposit, so that will be part of your assignment fee. That will come off. That will come off of the total purchase price. Kildus, I probably pronounced it wrong. What up? Happy Friday, Brandon Bailey. How did you find the property? Brandon, the property was through White Letters. This time we pull a list from our list source, and this is non-owner occupied. Non-owner occupied list. EJ Chun, cool, linked. What up? Happy Friday. Nava Estate. What up? Happy Friday. Any other question on the deal, you guys? V, thanks. I've done other deals with this advice, but I finally pulled the trigger on total virtual wholesaling. You guys, for those of you who go out and who meet with sellers, who tie property up on a contract because you have to meet with sellers, that's great. But I'm telling you, how you're able to scale up and how you're able to go into other market and eliminates connecting with, it's just being able to eliminate one step where you have to have a contractor or you have to get a partner and you have to trust them to go out there, look at the property and not go behind your back and lock this property up on a contract because you're not there. I trust me, once you know how to do this virtually, man, you do not want to spend the time, go out there, meet with the sellers and all that. And it takes a certain other, it's it's a different skill set to be able to do it virtually. It's all about how you talk and communicate with seller over the phone. That is the key. How many times do you mail same list, Khang, in a month? 6 times, once a month for 6 months in a row, and then we switch a new list. So typically when my wife, she's about to pull a new list here, and because right now with our amount of money we're marketing and how much people we're targeting, we're gonna spend roughly about $13,000 or $13,000 to $14,000 to pull a new list, and we pull a new list every 6 months, so twice a year. Brutus Emperor, what up, man? Happy Friday, nice. When will the wife put together the marketing course? So what it is, you guys, is I've been talking to the wife about it, and she's like, well, I don't want to share everything about our business and things like that. And like I'm telling you guys, my wife and I make money wholesaling. That's where our money comes from, right? And, and we try to get, so a lot of time when we put out there, and I don't mind helping, tons of people from other market. I don't mind at all, but you guys got to understand, this is where our money coming from, is wholesaling. And, so it's our concern about, putting it out there, creating competition and things like that, because, we don't make our money from YouTube. We don't make our money from mentoring, from training, from courses. Our money is coming from virtual wholesaling. So she was kind of hesitant about doing it, and so I still trying to convince her to put the package together. But if I can convince her, for those of you who want to go ahead and probably we might have to, I want to see how many people it's going to be. I want to see how many people like it. Okay. So if anything, I'll get her to put together how she pulled the list, where she pulled the list, and also too is showing you guys how she pulled our buyers list. All right, our buyer list as well, so they can send out, so you can send out letters to your buyers, and then how she train up VA, where to hire VA, how to train up your VA, and I might include in there where so basically the whole marketing, but also too, so I want her to go above and beyond, is showing you guys how to train up these VA, how she role play with them, how we actually pay them. So if that's something you guys are interested, it's not just the marketing, but I want her to add more and go above and beyond for you guys. But I know that it's probably gonna be, as far as right now, I don't know what the price is. Maybe you guys want to let me know, drop me in a comment and let me know what you guys think will worth it. She's smart, bro. I ain't mad at her. Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of people out there, put information out there, and they're saying, yeah, you know what, I'm putting information out there because I have an abundant mindset and things like that. Yes. I'm trying to switch my mindset, but you guys got to understand, you guys do not know the story behind to those people that say that. Trust me. My mentor, my mentor run a RIA. And when he comes in, he gets guest speaker. There are things that I cannot tell you guys. But people that say that, because a lot of times they do not make their money from what they're doing. They make money from something else where they have multiple sources, but their biggest source of money come from, they won't share you that secret. Trust me. Because they won't share you that secret, man. They won't. So you guys gotta understand, this is our main source, right? So that's why I'm kind of hesitant. But if you guys want to, man, drop me a comment, let me know, and I'll try to get my wife and see if that's something she would do. I am interested in that, the wholesale business plan, the whole business plan. Right, man? I know Joshua Swag agreed that 10K for marketing course. 10K, but for those of you who already purchased my King Kong seller script package, are part of the Facebook family, I'll make sure that we're gonna do something for you guys, that you guys gonna be able to get it at a discount on it. All right. If we end up doing it. W Baker, how many deals a month do you get from Google AdWords? That's a great question. So VM Baker. So as you guys know, 90% of ours coming from direct mail, postcards, and letters. Right now we don't do a whole lot of PPC, but we do have a website and we do have a web guy that runs it. We pay him about $500 a month to monitor our website. And I think we're getting about roughly maybe one deal or so from our website. But that one deal, it's like, we did a deal last month on our website, and that made us $25,000. So one deal a month or so. EJ, hey Khang, can you talk more about the contract form? EJ, okay, so basically I don't know what contract you're using, EJ, but our contract, it protects us as the buyer, as the wholesaler, all the way up to the day of closing to back out of the deal. So for those of you who purchased my King Kong seller script package, in there it includes all the contract that I use, that I give to you guys, the purchase and sell, the assignment agreement, the double closing contract is different from the purchase and sell between you and the seller, because between you and the seller protects you. The double closing contract between you and the end buyer is going to protect you now as the seller, okay? And on there I do a video showing you guys how to fill it out, etc. But the contract, what it is EJ, it gives you the rights to go ahead and find a buyer that's willing to pay you more for what you got on the contract with the seller. So that means, so now you can assign it over to this new buyer for X amount of dollar. So let's just say you have a contract between you and the seller for $100,000 to buy the property. In that contract, it gives you the rights to go ahead and market that contract to find a buyer that's willing to pay more. So let's say if you find a buyer that's willing to pay you $110,000 to $110,000 to buy that property, now you make $10,000 and you're able to assign it. So the new buyer will pay $110,000, you get the $10,000, and the seller gets their $100,000 on it. And that contract protects you. So let's say if you can't find a buyer in the amount of time that it's agreed with the seller, let's just say it's 30 days. The seller said, hey, I'm going to sell you the properties. We're going to close on it in 30 days. And it gives you X amount of time to find that buyer. And if you can't find the buyer, you just go back and let the seller know, hey, after we went out there, look at the property or our inspections, or after we do our research, we do our calculation, the number is just not going to work. So I'm sorry, but we have to pull, we have to cancel this contract. Alman Gemma, password for the Facebook group. Bro, to get access to my private Facebook group, and I tell you guys this, that once you get onto the group, even one tips that you're gonna get. Let's just say that you come across and you have this hang up and you can't get an answer to it, and you post that on the group, and you'll be able to get an answer and close a deal or lock a deal up on the contract. Tell me, how much does that worth to you? Because that deal could turn out to be $5,000, $10,000, all right, or more. So Almi, man, I can't pronounce your name, man. Jami, I've just pronounced your last. Jami, to get access to my private Facebook group, you have to purchase my King Kong seller script package. That's the only way you're gonna get into it. Once you purchase, there's a link that sends to you with a password that you need to enter before you get accepted onto the group. But these are for massive action taker. These are doer, not talker. All right. So, but when you get on there, you will see what I mean. The group that we have created is such a great community where people on there saying, hey Khang, I'm working on this deal here. This is what's going on. They post some picture. Hey, what do you guys think the rehab would be? What do you guys think the ARV would be for this property? So we on there, we don't just talk, but we help each other, analyzing deal, locking deal up on the contract, talking about, hey, if I want to find my buyer, what's the next step I need to do? So things like that, I don't want to create a Facebook group and make it public like any other one. If you want to join, there's so many other Facebook group out, Jami, that you can join. But this one is privately for people that are like not just talker. We're in there, we're doing deals to make money from this business, all right? So if you want to purchase it, the link is in the description. It's $4.95. It's a no refund, no exchange product. But when you get on there, even one tips on there, I gotta share with you guys an addendum that I have to. When I first started, I did not know how to write this addendum up. So basically, the seller, the seller said the seller needs 30 days to vacate after closing. But the buyer wants to make sure that the seller have a skin in the game. So what we do is we have to drop an addendum. So that way at the time of closing, we hold back the $5,000 from the seller until they vacate, and that $5,000 will be released. It could be $5,000, it could be $10,000, it could be $2,000, whatever the amount is, will be released to the renter. I did not know how to drop that addendum. Like, I did not know the wording, how to say it, so that way it works for the title company, because there's certain language you have to put in there. You just can't just put anything in there. So I had to pay an attorney $500, $500 to drop this addendum. It's just a short 2 or 3 paragraph addendum. I paid $500 for it. And guess what I did for my family, for my Facebook family, for people that invested in me? I want to invest it back into you guys. I want to give you guys more addendum, or when you go in, you see that addendum that I share with you, and that way you'll be able to use it over and over and over again. But anyways, you guys, the wife, the boss, she is ready to go. So I got to end this, you guys. Any comment, drop it in the comment and let me know. And you guys, please stick with this business. It only takes one deal to change everything around. One deal to change everything around. Hey, how you pronounce my name is how, dude, see, I can't even, my reading skill is bad. So anyways, you guys, take care. Have a great rest of your day. I wish you guys the best. I hope to get every single one of you guys onto the channel to share your story and how you close your first wholesale deal. And remember, when you purchase my King Kong Seller Script package, when you enter the Facebook group, you don't have to, but when you get onto the Facebook group, I'm going to hold you accountable for it. I'm not going to let you get off of the Facebook group until you meet 2 requirements. 1, do your first wholesale deal. 2, is that you outgrown the group. There's no more value that we can add to you. That means you have exceed making $250,000 a month, okay? Because I'm going to go to Collective Genius. I'm going to go to meet people that are making $500,000 to $1 million a month in this business, and I'm going to be able to come back and post it on there and things like that to share with you guys. And I'm sharing with you guys more stuff on there into my business than I can on YouTube because of the community and things like that, right? Because you guys got to understand, in life, there's never something for nothing. People give you free information for a reason, because that way they can lead you down to a path where they can now sell you something that they have bought, that they put the time, the money to invest to acquire this knowledge, and they're not going to give it out for free. There's everything in life, you guys, never something for nothing. Take care, you guys, and remember, one deal can change everything around. One deal. Because I have done deals where $50,000, over $100,000 on one deal. So if I, as a high school dropout, Khang, as a high school dropout, knowing nothing about real estate when he first started, and if he can do it because he is determined and he's willing to work hard, and if I have that, I can do it too. Take care, you guys. Have a good one. Bye.